So you've been playing DBD and you keep loading into solo queue and getting spiked into the pavement by blights within the first 10 seconds, or your entire squad is built for stealth and you are the weakest link in the game of hide and seek. Well, we're gonna learn some looping basics, the importance of eye contact. We aren't taking Trapper out to dinner here, we're just making sure our boy is paying attention to us so we can play hard to get. If you've seen my How to 360 video, you may already have your sensitivity settings up higher. If that's the case, outstanding. If not, get in there and get that number above 70. The reason for this is you need to start looking behind you. Practice flicking that camera back and forth between looking forward and looking back. Even if you aren't in chase and you're just en route to the next generator because your 3-man Swift all runs distortion and the random is about to get their shit wrecked, just practice looking back and looking forward on the way to that generator. Honestly, with the winter event going on, now is a great time to practice, since other than every single Wesker I've come across, a lot of the killers will play snowball fights with you and give you some practice looking behind you since you fire off that snowball in the direction you're looking. Now, looking behind you is going to take a massive amount of practice, and anyone with motion sickness might end up strapping a hefty bag to their mouth like a human garbage centipede. You're also going to run into walls and get stuck on rocks. It's gonna happen. Remember, blight mains experience this on a daily basis. Also, unless you're Dino, looping is a sober man's game, so until it becomes second nature, make sure you come in with a clear head or you're gonna look like me every Friday night. Looking behind you is going to give you a bunch of information. First, if you're against a huntress, it's going to give you a chance to dodge the hatchets instead of just running in zigzags like you're running from a gator. Second, it's going to help you determine where the killer is going, so if you're on your way to a pallet and the killer starts veering left to cut you off, you can just turn around and reroute. Third, it's going to let you know if you've got time to make it to your destination, or if you're gonna have to attempt a 360 or fake a window. If you're in chase and you see Shack out in the distance and God Pallet is calling to you like a husky screaming for snacks, you can check behind you to figure out if you've got enough time to make it there to throw God Pallet within the first few seconds of the game and piss off your entire team. If you're against a nurse or blight or someone else who is not just gonna power walk angrily at you, looking behind can also help with getting there safely. So when you see blight starting to zip towards you, you can try and dart to the side and try and make it harder for our human pinball to connect, or reverse direction the moment the nurse starts to blink in your direction. Once you make it to your destination, you will need to keep watching for that eye contact. The red stain on the ground will tell you the direction the killer is looking. Of course, the killer can moonwalk in order to hide it, but you should keep checking the corners for that stain to see where they're heading. Half the time, you can just sit in the corner and watch the killer try to mind game you. This is one of the only instances where being completely out of your mind can really come in handy. I don't know how many times I've consumed some California chocolate, stood on the corner and screeched like a parrot at Dino that I'm lost and I'm actually engaged in a chase, and the killer is trying to mind game me. Turns out standing still and hallucinating a giant floating hamburger is the ultimate mind game. Keep in mind that you should absolutely abuse the hell out of the surrounding walls and scenery. For example, when you loop in Shack, try to peer through the holes and cracks in the wall to see if the killer is coming in your direction or attempting to mind game you. Also, you can run Ada's wiretap and make sure to set it up at Shack or on a loop. This can result in a multi-gen chase since the killer will be lit up and shining brighter than a Christmas brony. It also gives the gen jockeys something to laugh at while they're working. Obviously, the killer can stop and kick your gen and prevent this strategy, but if they are stopping to kick the gen, then you have time to create distance. Object of Obsession will also reveal the killer's aura periodically, but they see yours too. So if you're flying higher than Talita's kite and just staring into the abyss around the corner, the killer will know there isn't a mind there to game and may just walk over to you. Good luck out there, kids.